So I was listening to Dr. Benjamin Hardy this morning, who is a psychologist, and honestly, a new listen for me. So I'm not making any suggestions or recommendations yet, but super interesting. He talks a lot about time and goals and systems and a lot of he's breaking through these things that we've told ourselves or been taught over the years. And the one thing that resonated with me a lot, because it was completely in line with something that I've been saying to you for quite a while now, which is you do not need another certification or more education to get to that next level or to move into the next chapter of your career. I mean, unless you do. Unless we're talking about something like, I don't know, you need some new accounting certification to actually be the next level, or you're in healthcare and you literally need X years of experience before you can move into the next role. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who are mapping their career journey and they are professionals, but they do not require more certifications or courses or even an MBA. I mean, I got to the senior director level at a Fortune 500 company and never had an MBA. Once I was, I don't know, 10 or 15 years into my career, I had been thinking about it and I was like, what's the point? I could teach half the classes at this point. I've got an on-the-job MBA and nobody cared. Okay, again, caveat, if your company cares and they literally have stipulations of exactly what criteria you need to meet before you move to the next level, that's different. That is not the norm. That is not the norm. Leaders simply do not care that you took that LinkedIn learning course. They do not care that you got a new certification. They care about how you lead, how you get the work done. Do you focus on the right things? Do you push them? Do you think strategically? Right? These are the things they think about. And if you're already capable and doing those things, you don't need those additional certifications. And here's where this clicks with what Dr. Hardy was talking about, because he was saying that he does a lot of talking and research and thinking about time. And the time that you're spending on those certifications or that LinkedIn learning course, if you took that same time and spent it on your actual goal, and this is what he's saying, you're not spending time on your real goal. Like if your goal is to get into whatever the next seat might be for you, and you're spending time, precious time, taking training classes and getting certifications, that is time that is not actually spent on the goal. That is like peripheral stuff that is not 100% correlated to that goal. Here's my perspective. If you took that time and you spent that on things like actually networking, reaching out to people that you'd like to be working with, if you spent that time on your story bank, which is really deeply understanding and building your database of stories that you want to be talking about, things that you want to celebrate and highlight when that moment comes, whether it's an interview or just a career conversation. But if you really started reflecting on you, what your strengths are, how to talk about them, how to have conversations with the right people, networking, things like that, things that actually move the needle toward your next goal, that's where you start to see movement and momentum. You can get all the certifications, take all the training in the world. That is not going to get you any closer. I have so many clients and potential clients that I've talked to who are in the middle of a college course or just decided to start their MBA because they're not getting anywhere. And they're like, what am I missing? What am I missing? I might as well, I must be some education. It must be that my pedigree isn't good enough. It's not true. It's not the case. It is not the case. And that is exactly what we work on. And that is the magical unlock of this work that I do with my clients, because they realize you don't actually need any more experience. You have everything you need. You have everything you already need. You are ready. You are ready for the next step, whatever that is. If it's a step upward, if it's a step across, if it's a pivot to something totally different, you already know you have what you need. You're going to learn what you don't know on the job. So yeah, my challenge for you is to think about what it is that you are filling your time with that is not really moving you toward your goal. It might be something you thought you needed because you haven't figured out what your roadblocks and what your constraints actually are. But what are you doing that is not really moving you toward your goal? And then let's talk. Take that inventory and let's talk about how much validity there is in this, right? Like, let's talk about, should you challenge that? Should you stop? Should we shift gears, or should we, stay the course? But chances are you can start walking away from some of those things that you're spending your time on. They're just not adding that much value.